if you have pain caused by trigger points in your neck or your upper back, I'm going to teach you how to get rid of those trigger points quickly and easily. Hey, I'm Coach Todd with Feel Good Life. If you enjoy learning how to keep your joints healthy and happy, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. We'd love for you to join our community of people over 50 that are living naturally and pain-free. So for this video, I want to teach you how to get rid of trigger points in your neck and your shoulders. And I'm actually going to use my kids' vitamin bottle. And now I know there's a lot of fancy gadgets out there, kind of reachers and things like that. And those are well and good. I don't not support those. Those are fine. Especially they can kind of keep an ergonomics in mind to help you kind of reach back there. But if you don't have one of those, you can use a vitamin jar and it's just as good, or a roller, other objects that you can find, even a mason jar. So the first thing with trigger points is they're not complicated. They're not odd or weird. Really what it is just a binding up of the muscle tissue, fibrotic tissue that starts to bind up. And why does this happen? Really one main reason, which is posture. So like, for example, if your neck is kind of forward and the muscles behind in the back of your neck are trying to force to keep your neck upright, but your posture is poor, then what happens is that muscle tissue starts to bind up. Same thing with your shoulders. Maybe you're at your computer desk, or washing dishes all the time, or you're not doing any exercises and stretches to kind of keep your shoulders back. Well, the muscles in your back, your rhomboids and your trapezius muscles, they're starting to bind up, which then impinges on nerves, creates fibrotic tissue, and that becomes a trigger point. But what you can do is you can massage and put pressure on those trigger points to help break up the fibrotic tissue, really the binding up of that muscle tissue, to help release it and to help make that nerve not have that pressure due to the muscular tension. So I'm going to show you a few things that you can do with a vitamin jar as well as your hands. So first thing let's start with the neck. So say you have trigger points in your neck. I'm actually going to show it from this direction so you can see it a little bit better. You want to use your opposite hand. You don't want to try to say I've got trigger points on the right side of my neck. I don't want to use my right hand and try to, come back there and reach back there. Number one is because I'm using those same muscles to bring my arm back that I'm going to be using where the trigger points are. So that doesn't make sense. You need that muscle relaxed to help break up that tissue. So if it's tight, then it's going to be binding up, and you can't release those trigger points. So first, relax the neck muscles, and then you can use the opposite hand. So you can come from this direction, or if you've got the mobility, you can come from behind. And what you want to do is just feel, here, let me go like this. You can just feel for those trigger points. Don't put your head down, because that's going to be forcing your muscles to engage. Just keep it relaxed. You can even do this laying down, and it's even better because you're just resting your head and letting that muscle tissue be soft, and then you can get in deeper. But what you can do is feel for those trigger points. And the trick is, so you first feel your spine, right? Your cervical spine, the little bony processes, spinous processes is what they're called, those bony protrusions. And then you just go a little bit laterally or to the right. And then you feel along that muscle. So right in your neck, and you feel for something when it starts, you can feel that binding up. And then once you feel that spot, what you're going to do is just hold. And then you can mix up holding and doing gentle circles. Now again, if this is too much on your shoulder, then you can come at it from the opposite angle and massage and press. So try to get at it for at least 60 seconds before moving on. Just like that. So you can go, and you can see, you can probably see the redness starting to form, and that's extra blood flow flowing to the area. And so you push and hold and do gentle circles. Try to get it for 60 seconds or so. And so it takes time. You want to actually hold it again for at least 60 seconds, but then you want to do it regularly. So, okay, so let's now focus on your back. So really it's the thoracic area, or the rhomboids, the muscles that come out from the thoracic. Now I can't reach way back there. That's just too hard for me. Which is why I use a vitamin jar. And really, I mean, very few people have the mobility to try to get a pressure point out using their hands on their back. So which is why I use a vitamin jar. So the key to using an object is to make sure you're not positioning it at your spine. Right, so you want, just like when I taught you near your neck, you want to go out to the side a little bit. So same thing with a vitamin jar. So what you can do is with that opposite hand, and I'm actually going to go from right here. So here you can sit on your couch, hopefully next to a wall. You can stand next to a wall. I'm just going to use this as an example. This is the best place in our RV to shoot video. So grab that jar, and you can place it right by your back, just like this. Now with that jar, you can do gentle rolling, and you can feel it. So you've got your shoulder blade, and then you have your spine. You want your vitamin jar or roller, whatever your hard object that you use. You can use a massage ball, tennis ball, and you want them between the bones. So you don't want to be massaging right where the bone is. You want to be between that. And you'll feel it. You can press. So what I'm doing is I'm just pushing my back further into the jar, and I can feel that trigger point right next to my scapula. So right where that blade is. And all I'm doing is pressing and holding. Make sure your body is relaxed, your shoulders are relaxed. And sometimes you'll feel kind of radiating numbness. You know, it's a trigger point. It's already binding up on the nerve. And so now you're pushing on it. So you're going to feel some discomfort when you're pushing in it. And then what I like to do is I like to roll it a little bit. Again, watching out for your spine. And so then what you can do is just reposition. So if you, now this is a lot of mobility. You know, if you're 50 or 60 or 70, you may not have that mobility. So what you can do is use, there's those trigger point tools. You can kind of position it, or you can use a rolling pin because it's longer, right? So you don't need to position your arm back as far. Another option is to do this laying down. So you can put it on, say, your couch or even your bed. Again, you just need to watch out for your spine. Let me move this. So I'm just gently going down. And the couch or your bed is going to help take some of the pressure, but you can position yourself right on it. Now it's hard to get extra pressure because you're just using gravity, but you can still just lay on it and feel that trigger point. Again, for 60 seconds, and then you can reposition. So you come up, and then you know right where this is, so you can put it down a little bit. Make sure you kind of come down in the same way, so it goes down a little bit further, and then you just rest right into it. So again, you can rest into it for at least 60 seconds, but you can also do slight rolls. Not getting onto your spine or your scapula, but just resting right into it. It feels really good. I mean, especially afterwards, you start to feel that that bound up tissue start to release a little bit. And I already feel actually really good, and I've only been doing it for a few minutes, so in a few different spots. So go ahead and you can do that with your neck. Use your fingers or your hands. And then when you get into your thoracic spine, use some type of tool, and you can lay into it. You can position yourself next to a wall and hold that for at least 60 seconds. And again, you can hold it, and then you can do little rolls to help break up that tissue. So you can do that every day, and it does take time, right? It takes time for the muscles to bind up. So it also takes time for the muscles to unbind and get freer from impinging upon those nerves. So, all right, well, that's how to get rid of trigger points quickly and easily from home. And so go ahead and try that. Let me know how that works for you. And again, watch out for your spine and your scapula or your shoulder blade. You don't want to just rest upon those, but the muscles are good to rest upon and allow that pressure from your object to help break up that muscle tissue. So I'm Coach Todd with Feel Good Life. If you enjoy learning simple techniques that you can do from home to help keep your joints strong and healthy, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And I look forward to continuing to teach you and to help you live a healthy and strong life into your later years. So thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.